Welcome, wonderful people, to the Sunday rune and card reading. I'm Jenny Florence. There's an amazing energy here this evening. It's actually Saturday evening. The sun is going down, the light is beautiful, and I'm going to record this now because I've really heard to do so, but I'll edit and get them up first thing tomorrow morning for you guys as early as I can. We're still very much in the energy of Beltane here, which is this pivotal turning point of the energy moving into what I would call fertility, fast, accelerated growth. So we are seeing an abundance from nature emerging at this moment in time, and I was given 3 very clear messages to guide us in the 3 readings that we're going to be doing today. Anyone that is new to my channel, to this amazing YouTube community, because we are a community of spiritual warriors. If you're new, guys, as I said, I'm Jenny Florence. I put a lot of free stuff into the world, so do check out the information box below. I give away a free private reading. I actually will be making the announcement of that this evening on Saturday evening to one of my subscribers. I also give away a first limited edition pack of the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards every month, so if you want to be in the running for that, you'll need to be a subscriber. But yeah, check out the information box, because there's a lot of stuff that I do and put out there in the world just to help us navigate our journeys from a position of empowerment. Also, if you're new and you want to just fast forward to the readings, please do so. The timestamps are in the information box below. A lot of people like to hear the extra guidance and also sit with me as I'm drawing the cards. I used not to video them, but I now do, and because for them it actually helps them to tune into whichever reading is speaking to them. And guys, if you are already part of this amazing community, welcome back. You are utterly wonderful and utterly awesome, and guys, you just blow me away. Your comments, your likes, your shares, your support of me, your support of each other. And guys, if I've been a little slow this week to get back to you on any of the comments, if you've been asking questions, my apologies. I've had a very, very, very busy week. I've needed to give a lot of attention in various different areas of my world, and so I haven't been able to check in with YouTube as often as I normally do. So please just bear with me. I will catch up with the comments as soon as I can. So, wonderful people, let us check in with the energy, very much the Beltane energy, and also that energy of the renewal from the full moon in Scorpio. Now, reading number 1 is going to be guided by these seeds. Beltane is all about transition, emergence, fertility, rebirth. Of course, the full moon in Scorpio is illuminating the things that we need to see in order to let go of certain things and in order to move forwards into a new beginning. So very, very powerful energy around at the moment. Reading number 1 is governed by the energy of new beginnings and sowing seeds. It's that spark of creativity, the phase of entering into the dream time, imagining the future we wish to, and initiating actions, sowing seeds that will bring I guess, a fruition in the future. It's really very much about new beginnings. Now, reading number 2 is a different stage of emergence. Seeds have been sown, and as you can see, they are pushing through and literally starting to emerge. This lupin has its first leaf. It's really, really beautiful, very powerful energy. Not all of them are quite there yet. They're pushing through. We've sown seeds. So this is a stage of emergence. Reading number 2 is guidance for us if we are moving forwards into something. We have started something already, we've sown seeds, maybe things have been on hold. The guidance in reading number 2 is where our seeds that we have sown are starting to emerge, and we are receiving guidance, I guess, in the next steps forwards, how to create the best possible conditions for these emerging seedlings to continue their growth. Now, reading number 3 is very, very interesting. This is actually a horse chestnut tree. Now, this reading, I really heard this very clearly. This has a story to it. You see, in my walks and my wanderings, I came across a field which is fully cropped. It's actually been sown with beans. And in amongst the edge of the beans, quite a few of these horse chestnut trees had actually sprouted themselves. Now they're just going to be mowed down when it comes to harvest. So they're sprouting, they're growing, but they're not going to be able to go anywhere. So I actually took just a little fork actually with me and took a few that would actually not be able to survive otherwise. And I transplanted them. I don't know where I'm going to plant them, but I am going to nurture them. I'm going to look after them. I think we must look after our trees, our forests, and I trust that at some point I will know where and when I can plant them, and in the meantime I will look after them. I have about 5, I think it is, and they've really taken really well. They've transplanted beautifully. I wasn't sure how well they would do. So reading number 3 is speaking to us of adaptability. The recognition that if we sow a seed in one place and it lands somewhere which is not viable, we may need to move it. We may need to become adaptable and versatile and resilient in terms of finding a new place to become centered, a new beginning, a new opportunity. So that's what reading number 3 is speaking of. Resilience, durability, adaptability, our ability to up sticks and move, our ability to change course if we need to. So that will be the guidance in reading number 3. So a rather large pot. It's probably going to end up being out of camera, but nevertheless we'll try and keep it in focus when we come to reading number 3. So wonderful people, let's draw some cards and let's draw some runes. So wonderful people, I've moved these a little bit out of the way. Sadly our horse chestnut is slightly out of sight, but let's draw some cards. So for reading number 1, and reading number 2, and reading number 3. Also going to use, I think, some cards from the Gaia pack. Very lovely energy, these cards. Seems very fitting to be working with cards that are very tuned into the earth at a time of new fertility and new promise. Lovely energy, lovely energy here this evening. We're also going to be drawing from one of the Archangel packs. Just one for each, that's what I'm hearing. That's interesting. I had a little debate going on there for a moment. And we will also draw from the Art of Manifestation cards as well, and of course our beloved runes. For those of you who have been checking in, who are subscribed, you'll already know that we did a webinar on actually how to use the runes. A lot of people have been really interested, and there was a huge download that comes with it. With these readings, for those of you that are interested in actually receiving the extra guidance sort of in a download, in a PDF, you can join the mailing list, and that mailing list will take you to a page where not only are there the downloads for the Sunday readings, but I send out a weekly email with that information in it, but you'll also be able to access the download from any of the webinars where there has been one. So you'll be able to access the download for the runes, And next week we are going to be doing a live workshop on making our own runes. So for anyone still in lockdown, wanting to be able to actually work with runes, we'll be making our own. So do, again, if you're subscribed, if you press the little bell icon as well, you should actually then receive notifications as soon as I upload the details of that. Oh wow, that was really cheeky of me there. Guys, I don't know if you saw that. That was me not concentrating, talking, and I actually revealed one of the cards. I'm actually going to put that back. That is fascinating. I'm so used to drawing cards and turning them over straight away as I do for the readings. Right, let's just shuffle again. Right, let's just tune into the fact that this is a pick a card reading, and therefore very important that we're not looking at them beforehand. I'm going to have to practice the art of forgiveness with myself now and not dive into the mode of criticism. It's funny actually, there's a time when I would have been mortified about that, do you know, and probably started the whole reading again. But you know, these days I really try to practice what I preach, but practice what I believe, which is there is so many things that we end up getting wound up about that is unnecessary, or leaning into so much perfection that we can't actually just be human. There we go, lovely. Okay, and next we are going to draw our wonderful, wonderful runes. Which I will endeavour not to show to you while I turn them over. Okay, we have 3 runes here. Okay, we have 1, we have 2, and we have 3. Okay. So wonderful, people. You may already know which reading is speaking to you, but I'm going to press the pause again, and in a moment you'll see them lined up beautifully, and we will then enter a space of listening to our intuition. So wonderful, people, this is the time in the readings where we connect with our intuition. If you wish to pause the video for a short while, just while you tune in to the individual readings, you can do so. We have reading number 1 with seeds. This is about sowing seeds, new beginnings, entering a dream time, maybe even taking some initiatives towards making seeds, sowing seeds for the future, allowing dreams to emerge. Very interesting as we come potentially into a phase of maybe easing off in some parts of the world on lockdown. Now, in our second reading, we are guided by seeds that are already emerging. They're needing nurture. They are needing the best possible conditions to move into fruition. I was about to say fruition. Reading number 3 is governed by our wonderful horse chestnut tree, adaptability, resilience, knowing that we can actually move and pick up and start again somewhere else. In this instance, for this tree, it is somewhere else. But there's something about resilience, adaptability, durability coming through for reading number 3. Obviously, we shall see when we draw the cards. So wonderful, people, press the pause button if you wish. You may find that actually you're drawn to more than one reading. That's absolutely fine. Sometimes it's an amalgamation of more than one message that is relevant. And these readings are always put in a playlist. So if you wish to come back to them at a later date, if you again go to the home page, check out the playlist, you'll find the Sunday Rune and Card reading playlists there, and you can check into any of them actually. I always put them in there. So wonderful, people, namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for these readings. Welcome to reading number 1 and the sowing of seeds, new beginnings. Let's see what our runes have to tell us. So we have the rune of defense, we have the rune of partnership, And we have the rune of initiation. This is interesting. This is like a rite of passage. Now, the rune of defense tells us that sometimes there are boundary issues involved actually with the rune of defense, and sometimes the rune of defense tells us that our relationships, particularly with the rune of partnership, our relationships are changing. It always suggests to me that we're developing an aversion to kind of attitudes and things that don't really resonate with us. Now, this is a rite of passage energy here with the rune of initiation. You're moving into something, or you're moving through something. I'm guessing with the energy of new beginnings, you're moving into something. Now, the energy of partnership is around you. This could be an intimate partnership, it could be a business partnership, but the energy of partnership is around you. Now we have the Archangel card from Archangel Haniel, sensitivity. You are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. Let's have a look at our other cards. Wow, again, new love around you. Perception, and this is an interesting energy here because these are actually bee-friendly seeds, and here we have the card of the Four of Earth, but with a bee here. This is somebody who's reliable. This is somebody who's steady. It suggests a commitment, actually, a moving forwards, particularly with relationship here. However, the card of perception, again, are you extra sensitive? Are you worrying about something here? Let's check out the other cards. Ground yourself, believe in yourself. Okay, I feel like there's the worry card, the worry energy. It feels as though there's maybe your sensitivity is causing you to feel a little uneasy. Let's have a look at our tarot. So 6 of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, 10 of Pentacles. I'm just going to shift the cards around so that we can see them all. We have the Two of Water, we have the card of perception, and we have, actually I'm going to move those down here. I never know quite how they're going to come out when we first start working with the cards. These I'm going to place up here, and these I'm going to place here, in fact, with the card of sensitivity here. Okay, so sowing seeds, new beginnings, new opportunities. There is a slight prickliness around. It's as though something has happened, and for me sometimes the 6 of Pentacles, it's like a card of reaching out. Now somebody may be reaching out to you, or you may be reaching out to them. Sometimes there's opportunity for forgiveness here, I always think. But I'm kind of seeing there's definitely, I would say this rune is indicating intimate partnership. This is a card of intimacy. It's also a card sometimes of commitment. Now it may be that if you are entering a phase of new commitment within relationship, you might be having a wobble. Now, that's understandable. I don't know about you guys, but I always think relationships, intimate relationships, it's the space where I think we experience our greatest challenges. It's where all our insecurities surface, or I think that's really true in my experience, in my own life and in the lives of many people that I've walked alongside. I think our insecurities are raised when we are in relationship. You're being asked to ground yourself, literally, to believe in yourself. I think some of the insecurities that you are maybe experiencing are to do with perceptions of the past. I think the person around you is reliable. This card tends to indicate someone who's steady, reliable, they're consistent. It's a really lovely, it's like that they're prepared to make a commitment. It may be that somebody's even reached out to you to make a commitment to you, and you might be having a little bit of a wobble. Or maybe they haven't yet, or you'd like to reach out to them and you're having a little bit of a wobble. Either way, there is an initiation, a rite of passage, a move into a new phase of life that is taking place. It's a new phase of life within relationships. The issue of, I don't think this rune is about boundaries per se, beyond the boundaries that we place within ourselves. You're sensitive. Honor your sensitivity. You know, I think the world needs sensitive people. Part of the challenges that we as humanity face in many ways come from a lack of sensitivity. When we are very sensitive, though, we often develop patterns of behaviour that are designed to protect ourselves. Again, tuning into the rune of defence. we place boundaries around ourselves. The boundaries are coming through, actually. We place boundaries around ourselves as a form of protection, but actually they can get in the way. They can sort of colour our perceptions. They can stop us from being able to allow ourselves to believe that we can have that which we desire. Now, you are being called to ground yourself, honour your sensitivity, don't relinquish your sensitivity, but ground yourself in where things are. Step into a space of personal empowerment. You have the right to say yes and no. You know, this is like a new phase of being, a new sowing seeds within a new way of being within relationship. I'm actually seeing a really, really lovely energy of the future here. This is a card of potential harvest. It's a card of family, of marriage, of harvest, of consistency, of joy within relationship. Your material needs being met, but there's a sense of stability and security, and coming in with this relationship of partnership, and coming in with this card again of relationship. I feel as though you are in the beginning of a new phase of relationship. For some of you, I do think it is an intimate partnership. If it's a business partnership, I think it's going to be successful. And indeed, if it's a business partnership, for some of you, it may be a business partnership. You need to believe in yourself. You need to trust in your vision, trust in your dream time, and sow those seeds, because there is a phase of new beginnings coming. Again, steady, reliable, make a commitment, hard work. You may just be feeling a little bit anxious in the current climate if you are initiating a new business, but actually this is very, very promising. But you are needing to move through some aspect of insecurity or uncertainty within you. Everything here is suggesting, if it's a business venture, a business partnership, that things are going to move ahead and be marvelous, actually. It's got a lovely, lovely energy of success and fruition. If it's an intimate relationship, which for some of you I think it is, then actually don't be afraid to make that commitment. It's a really, really good time to do it. We are entering a new phase, and this is a period of, this is like a rite of passage where we move into literally a new beginning, a new space of horizon. And the person around you, I think the person around you is ready to make a commitment. It's either they are ready to make a commitment to you, or you are ready to make a commitment to them. But just honour your sensitivity. Archangel Haniel, you are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honour yourself and your feelings. We've been through so much insecurity in the world around us. It can feel as if it's difficult to make a commitment, but I think you are being asked to here. Believe in yourself. You are important, you are lovable, you are special. You are a unique and extraordinary person. Wherever you've come from, whatever has happened to you in the past, it is time to let go of any negative perceptions that you may carry about yourself. Ground yourself. This card is a request to you to literally ground yourself. Go outdoors, take off your shoes, and find somewhere where it's safe to stand barefoot. Imagine roots growing out of your feet, travelling down into the soil beneath you, anchoring you with the nurturing energy of the earth. That is so tuned in to the energy of these seeds. It is time for you literally to plant yourself into the soil, plant yourself into a new phase of being, plant yourself into the passion of a new relationship, whether it is business or intimate. It is time to literally plant yourself into that energy of a new phase of being. Trust and honour your sensitivity. It's actually there to guide you. Believe in yourself. Despite the upheavals in the world, you are entering a new phase of being, and it is time for you to sow those seeds and put them in the ground. Wonderful people, so much love to you. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 2. Let's have a look at our runes. We have the rune of the spiritual warrior. That's awesome. We have the rune of fertility. Wow, this is Gorgeous. And we have the rune of movement. This is the bettering of any situation. It's something moving forwards. This is so in tune with the energy of these seeds coming into being. Now, the rune of the spiritual warrior, it really does suggest that follow right action. It's like do the right thing, provide the best possible conditions for something to grow and to emerge. The rune of fertility speaks of completion, the completion of beginnings. Something needs to be either put down or completed in order to move forwards. But the rune of movement is the bettering of any situation. Something is going to gather momentum, but you do need to follow right action in order for that to take place. As I said, we have this rune suggesting separation of some sort. I say separation, it is something that needs to be wrapped up. It's like crossing the T's, dotting the I's, or it does feel like it's about creating the best possible conditions, almost like the feng shui of growing something, creating the right environment, spring cleaning. There's some sort of flavour of the energy around in that way. So we have the Indigo and Crystal Children card. We have healing, destiny, and the sage. These are very powerful cards, wonderful people. Okay, let's have a look at these. Gossip and drama and say yes. And then we have, okay, Seven of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and Seven of Cups. This is interesting. You're being faced with some choices at the moment, okay? And this is interesting. I just need to connect in. It really came through very clearly with the rune of the spiritual warrior in terms of taking right action. So when we talk about right action, we're talking about integrity. We're talking about doing the right thing, saying the right thing. Now, this is a powerful card because I'll read what it says. Talking behind people's backs is one of the greatest producers of negative energy, with the potential to affect not only individuals but entire communities. Make a choice not to involve yourself in this. This card also asks that if you are unable to find anything positive to say, please say nothing at all. Now, it may be that there is the energy of something around you. Someone's trying to draw you into something. And this is this completion. It's fascinating. Completion of beginnings. I actually used the word separation, and yet this is not the rune of separation. But I did feel there was an interesting energy around. I think you're needing to let something go. You have choices. There are choices around you. And you're being called to literally say yes to life. What are you waiting for? The answer to your question is yes. I think you know the pathway that you need to take. I think you're faced with a decision of some sort, but I think it may mean leaving something behind. But actually, this is important because it involves healing, and it also involves destiny. You may wish to seek advice. If you need to seek support or help in this process, in this decision making, don't hold back. Or it may be that someone comes into your world who brings you the guidance that you need in order to make the right decision. But this is, the Seven of Pentacles says that something is going to move forwards. You can reach out, you can actually move something forwards. Remember the bettering of any situation. And the rune of fertility is lovely because it's a rune that says, actually, as long as we sort of wrap something up, we are free. The energy of us is free to move forwards. I think sitting with the rune of the spiritual warrior, you have a decision to make, and it involves choosing to take that pathway. It's like the higher pathway. You're going to need to seek some answers in some way, but don't be drawn in. There's an energy of something that I think you guys, you're wanting to leave it behind, and maybe you're not quite sure how to. The High Priestess asks you to trust your intuition. Deep down, I think you know exactly what the answer to your question is. It's just that you're needing to process it properly. And there's healing involved within this process. That's what I'm hearing. Now, Indigo and Crystal Children is interesting. Archangel Metatron, you have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. I want to say that I think this card may actually be your energy. I think that maybe you are the person who is sensitive, and you maybe have been struggling a little bit with the energy of some people around you who maybe aren't really giving you the best possible conditions to grow in. Or indeed, you may have grown up in a world where you were not given the best possible conditions to grow. It's actually time to nurture yourself. It's time to heal. It's time to leave those things behind. Your destiny, I feel, is genuinely calling you. I think for some of you, because of your experiences, actually that is giving you the wisdom and the insight to actually help others who have that same level of sensitivity. For me, this is a reading that has a very powerful calling attached to it, but it's young. It's not that you're, it's really interesting. So I'll say what I'm seeing. I'm seeing an old soul in a human life. So it's like, you know, for some of you, I think you are old souls. You've come back here, but you've come back here with purpose. And you're at a pivotal stage in your journey right now where something is literally emerging in you. And it needs to be nurtured because it's to do with your calling. It's to do with your destiny. It's to do with why you came here. And you may actually have struggled quite a bit at different times in your life. But actually, those experiences have made you into the person you are today. It means that the choices you make now come through intuition, they come through integrity. Something needs to be completed to free you up to move forwards. But this is really very powerful, and it does feel as though there is a pivotal shift in time where everything is going to be moving forwards, the bettering of any situation, the healing of the past. I think you may even be healing some kind of generational aspect within the family that you've sort of ended up being at the brunt of it, if that makes sense. And that does happen. I always think in my counselling career, for those of you that are new to my channel, I worked as a counsellor, an accredited counsellor for over 26 years. And I always found it fascinating that certain children would be like a barometer for the family. So maybe you'd see a child being brought into therapy and they were supposedly the child with the problems. Actually, they were carrying almost like the energy and the dysfunction within the family. Sometimes it was dysfunction, sometimes it was discord or disharmony, but it's like they were sensitive. They pick up on what was going on. Even if their grown-ups were really super lovely people doing the very best they could and trying to keep their issues away from the kids, there's always one child that becomes the barometer for the family, as it were. They pick up on the energy. I think that's you guys. You're very, very sensitive to this kind of stuff, and you're needing to sort of shield yourself from it. But the pathway that shields you is actually by taking right action. This is a pivotal time for you to nurture yourselves. Don't look to others to nurture you. It's time for you to emerge. It's time for you, literally, something new is emerging in you. And I do feel it's very powerful. It's almost, I think it's connected to your calling, your destiny, and why you came here. And it may well involve the nurture and protection of younger people who have an equal sensitivity to you. But remember, the bettering of any situation, everything is moving forwards, but you do need to sort of either let something go or walk away from something, or just place a boundary around it. There's something that needs to happen around that. It's time to nurture yourselves. Wonderful people. These readings are so powerful. So powerful this week. Not surprising given the Beltane energy and the Scorpio full moon that we had. I mean, just wow. Anyway, wonderful people. So much love to you and big, big respect. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 3. Let's have a little look at our runes. We have the rune of Othilla, separation. This is It's like, for me, it's like a snake shedding its skin. It's the emergence of you from one phase of life into a new phase of life, which is very relevant, isn't it, to this energy of transition. This is the pathway you must follow, the rune of wholeness. It's almost like there's one way to go. And we have the energy of disruption. I mean, bless this little tree, its world was disrupted, but actually with good purpose, because had I left this little tree where it was, it would not have survived. You know, categorically that would have happened. So the rune of disruption, for me, it's like disruption with purpose. Okay, so very powerful. These readings are extraordinary this week. Really, really extraordinary. Patience. Archangel Jophiel, your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realise. Still, they need nurturing and patience. Okay, we have the Counsellor, we have the Journey, we have the Seneschal. Let's move these down, move our runes up. We have, okay, wow, we have the Sun, we have the Three of Pentacles, and we have the Magician. We also have dislike of others and expectation. Okay, let's move our cards along and our runes over here. Okay, this is interesting. I feel like you guys are maybe possibly having to separate from someone, actually. But, or maybe there's I say from someone, or the impact of someone on your internal thinking patterns. That's what I'm really hearing. So let me explain what I'm saying with that. Dislike of others. Sometimes we form strongly negative feelings towards others. In truth, it is not them that we dislike, but their words, actions, and behaviour. This card asks you to try to detach from the experience of their behaviour and see them as a soul on their own unique pathway, attempting to manage their own challenging lessons. We then have the card of expectation. Expectation is a form of memory. Our past experiences colour our expectations of future circumstances and outcomes. You are asked to cleanse, sorry, I'm looking at it from far away with my glasses, to release, not to cleanse, but actually it's the same thing, release and cleanse, any form of negative expectations based on past experiences and centre yourself in the infinite possibility of now. So this is like this glass half full, glass half empty. If people have behaved badly towards you, it will leave scar tissue, okay? But actually the energy and the timing is right for you to let that pattern go. I think that's what you're being asked to let go of here. Othilla speaks of separation, of the shedding of skins, the moving into a new phase of life. It also speaks of inheritance, but the inheritance and the gain is what we get because we let something go. You're letting go of something to which you have had an emotional attachment. Now that can be a pattern of thinking that has come from people behaving badly, or it may just be letting something go, being the bigger person, rising above it, kind of walking away if you need to. I mean, the rune of wholeness, this is the path you must follow. So very interesting that we have the Counsellor, we have Journey, and we have the Seneschal. The Counsellor, I think it kind of speaks for itself. It's about wisdom, it's about being objective, being able to see things clearly, but through the eyes of understanding and compassion. The rune of Journey is very interesting because it speaks of our life's journey, the journey of our soul, the evolution of our soul within the human journey. And it kind of talks about what I would call consequences, the fact that there are, there's a cause and an effect. We learn through our life experiences, but actually our experiences colour us. You're being asked to let go of some kind of a thinking pattern or as I said, something that has come from somebody behaving badly towards you. Either somebody is behaving badly and you need to let that go, as in walk away, draw some boundaries. There is the path you must follow. Or you are needing to let go of a pattern of thinking that has come from the past. And that's actually what I'm being shown. I think it's much more to do with history than the present time. Although for some of you, it could be that you have almost like attracted into your world some people who don't behave terribly well because something of your previous thinking patterns of the past have sort of coloured you energetically, and that's caused that kind of vibrational energy around you. Some of you may even seek counselling, some of you may become counsellors because of your experiences. Now the sun is new energy, new source energy available. This is magnificent. It's a new life beginning, a new life unfolding, literally, which is the energy of this horse chestnut. It's interesting because actually the energy of chestnut is actually about transformation. Sometimes I work with tree runes. That's another thing to do in another webinar at some point in the future. But the energy of chestnut is all about transformation. This is a new beginning, a new phase of life. It's not like a brand new beginning as in you're starting from scratch. It's very much about a new phase, but a very significant phase on your own pathway. This has a lovely energy about it. Journey, a new pathway available to you. The Magician is the card of manifestation. You know, what would you like to, how do you want your future to look? You have the opportunity to evaluate. Now, Three of Pentacles would suggest that resources become available for you to actually move forwards, to start a new beginning. The Rune of Disruption is fascinating because I do think for some of you there's an upheaval in some way. But actually part of the upheaval is that you get to the pathway you must follow. The Seneschal speaks of living a life in service. It speaks of having a higher purpose, and really I think so does the card Dislike of Others. It's kind of like shifting any negative thinking patterns or blocks within you that have held you back from stepping into the fullest and best version of you. Those aspects where you've held yourselves back because of kind of the stuff that basically kind of got dumped on you earlier. But you know, and let's shift this expectation away from any negative perspectives to perspectives of new horizons and new futures, new beginnings, and actually new desires. You are allowed to think about what you truly desire and have patience. Your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realise, but still they need nurture and patience. You are in this interim phase of stepping almost, it feels like you're stepping between worlds. I don't know how better to explain it, but the readings this week are so powerful. They're blowing me away, literally, really, really blowing me away. Now, if there is disruption around you, for me this always connects in with the energy of Uranus, the planet of the Great Awakener, clearing away the old to make way for the new. I really feel like you guys are starting a new, it's like being given a new blank canvas. You let go of the stuff that has previously held you back. You recognise through your awareness, your psychological and emotional awareness, that there is a better way of being. You don't have to hold yourselves back anymore. There's definitely energy, source energy. I feel like the universe has your back in this transition, and I think new resources coming available for you to set forth on a whole new phase of life. But you do need to ditch any of these negative expectations that may cling to you from past experience. But do actually be patient with yourselves. You know, if you've grown up in a world where you weren't necessarily supported, you know, sometimes it can literally feel like you were born into the wrong family. You could never quite get planted, as it were. It's time to just plant yourself. You know, really, really powerful energy here. So tuned in with the Beltane energy, all of these readings, and the energy of this phenomenal full moon that we have just had in Scorpio. Very much time for rebirthing. So wow, absolutely awesome, wonderful people. So much love to you. Namaste. Do look out for forthcoming webinars, forthcoming readings, and if you'd like notifications of any of those, do make sure that you not only subscribe but press the little bell icon as well. Wonderful people, so much love to you and big respect. Namaste.